Barack Obama made history last night as he became the first African American to become the president-elect. But there have been many other great African American firsts in our history that have captured the attention and the hearts of the nation.
It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, change has come to America.
It is something many people never imagined they would see in their lifetime. An African American president.
And may God bless the United States of America.
For it was just over 50 years ago that Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus. And 40-some years ago, since Martin Luther King and others risked their lives in the March for Civil Rights and the right to vote. There would be no Barack Obama without the shoulders of others to stand on.
Desegregation will proceed.
Thurgood Marshall made history as the lead attorney in Brown versus Board of Education, the Supreme Court's first damning blow to Jim Crow and segregation. Marshall would join that court 13 years later.
The possibility of a truly colorblind judiciary came into being.
We've come from disgrace to amazing grace.
In 1984, Jesse Jackson became the first African American to win a presidential primary.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nat King Cole Show.
Political progress and popular culture mirrored each other.
Don't take too much off at the top.
Acceptance didn't come easily.
In the 1950s, blacks generally were portrayed in servile positions on American television. There was one great exception, and that once a week you had the stellar performer, Nat King Cole.
Yes, it's a good day for singing a song. And it's
After just 2 seasons, Nat King Cole pulled the plug, citing a lack of sponsors, saying, "I guess Madison Avenue is afraid of the dark."
I'm pleased to meet you, Mrs. Drayton.
Sidney Poitier became America's first black movie star. He shattered stereotypes in a time when many Americans were still proud of their prejudices.
An awful lot of people are going to think that we're a very shocking pair. Isn't that right, Mrs. Drayton?
I know what you mean.
But it is Jackie Robinson who will always be remembered as one of the greatest. When he integrated America's pastime, he changed more than the game. Those first were followed not always in quick succession.
There it is.
By other firsts. But this first is arguably the most important one of all.
America, we have come so far. We have seen so much.
Sometimes prophecy comes in the form of dreams, and the dreams come true.
We as a people will
get to the promised land.
One person who witnessed and wrote eloquently about some of those moments in history is author and poet Dr. Maya Angelou. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who were you thinking about last night as you watched the coverage?
All of us. All of those who went before, who paid dearly. And all of us today, all of us. I'm so proud. I'm filled, I can hardly talk without weeping. I'm so filled with pride for my country. What do you say? We are growing up. My God, I'm so grateful. I believe in the heart of every American, there's a desire to belong to a great country. And look at it, not just powerful, not just might, not just things, not consumer goods. I mean, look at our souls, look at our hearts. We have elected a black man to talk for us, to speak for us. We, blacks, whites, Asians, Spanish-speaking, Native American, we have done it. Fat, thin, pretty, plain, gay, straight, we have done it. My Lord, I am an American baby.
Why this man?
Because he's intelligent, Harry. I don't mean intellectually clever. I mean intelligent. I mean what used to be called mother wit. He has common sense, which is, I'm sorry to say, most uncommon. because he knows that together we can be somebody. You see? And he is inclusive as opposed to exclusive. I know that he knows he is the president of every black person, every white person. He's the president of the bigots. And he must remember that.
He said in his acceptance speech, for those of you who voted against you, I hear you too.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. That means that you know that we will not, as Shakespeare, to quote Shakespeare, by limping, sway disabled. We will be together. This is what he dreams. He envisions it.
Is there a tiny little part of you that said, did this really happen?
Yes. Yes. Sitting in the, waiting to come on and talk to you. Yes. This morning I've not slept really. I can't pull my nose out of the television. And I go from one channel to the next, and I want to embrace everybody. I just am so proud and grateful.
Of your many great poems, the poem that I have been thinking about since I knew that I was going to talk to you today was I Rise. Would you give us some of it this morning?
It begins, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the hopes that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, Harry Smith, we all rise.
And I rise.
Yes,
and
we
I
do.
Rise.
Yes, we do.
And I rise. Dr. Maya Angelou, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Mr. Harry Smith, thank you very much for having me.